Stop whatever you are doing. Be still for a moment and listen, because what I am about to say may shift the entire course of your life. You have prayed before. You have whispered words into the night, perhaps through tears, perhaps through clenched fists, perhaps through silent hope that someone, somewhere would hear you. But I must tell you the truth. Most prayers never rise higher than the lips that spoke them. Why? Because they were not spoken in the way that touches heaven. They were prayers of fear, prayers of desperation, prayers asking the infinite to please change its mind. And the infinite does not need to change its mind, my dear. It only needs you to change your way of prayer. For the law of attraction, for the law of metaphysics, answers not to begging but to certainty, not to fear but to faith. Everything will be given to you, but only if you pray in this way. And when I say everything, I mean health where there was disease, money where there was lack, love where there was loneliness, joy where there was despair. Nothing is too small for spirit, and nothing is too great for spirit. The only limitation is the manner in which you pray. I once said, and I will say again, the game of life is a game of boomerangs. Our thoughts, deeds, and words return to us swiftly with astounding accuracy. And prayer is nothing more than thought and word released into the universe. If you pray in doubt, doubt returns. If you pray in fear, fear returns. But if you pray in certainty, if you declare with the voice of one who knows it is already theirs, then the universe bows to your command. Picture a child asking its father for bread. Does the child fall on its knees and cry out, "Oh, please, Father, do not let me starve. Please, if it is your will, give me a crust of bread"? No, the child simply reaches its hand, confident that bread belongs to it by natural right. That is how you must pray. You must stretch out your hand in faith, without trembling, and claim what already belongs to you by divine right. When you pray in this way, the heavens shift, invisible messengers move in your favor, doors you did not even know existed begin to open. The prayer that is firm, direct, confident, and filled with thanksgiving is the prayer that sets angels in motion. But the prayer of whining, of doubt, of endless repetition, as if God has not heard you, that is like knocking on a door that is already unlocked but refusing to push it open. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a farmer standing in his field. He holds seeds in his hand. He wishes for a harvest. He begs the soil, "Please, soil, if it is your will, please let me have a crop this year." He cries, he pleads, he fasts, he worries. But he never places the seed in the ground. What harvest will he see? None, because prayer is planting. The soil responds not to begging, but to planting. And when you pray in the way I teach, you are planting seeds in the rich soil of spirit, and you can be certain that the harvest must come. You see, prayer is not asking, it is receiving. Prayer is not pleading, it is declaring. Prayer is not about convincing God, it is about convincing yourself. God has already said yes. The universe has already stamped every desire of your heart with approval. But you must align yourself to receive, and the way you align is by praying as if it is already done. Say these words aloud, even now. I already have it. It is mine by divine right. It comes to me in perfect timing, under grace, in perfect ways. Do you feel the shift inside you as you say it? That is the difference between ordinary prayer and magnetic prayer. Ordinary prayer leaves you in doubt. Magnetic prayer leaves you in possession. I once had a student who prayed for supply, but she did so with trembling lips and worried eyes. She said, "Oh, Miss Shin, I ask God every day to provide for me, but nothing comes. I told her, stop asking, start declaring. Say, I have received supply by divine right. It is already mine, and it comes to me now. She looked startled but obeyed. Within the week, an unexpected opportunity arrived, and her need was met abundantly. What changed? Not God. Not the universe. She changed. She prayed in the right way. So I ask you now, how are you praying? Are you begging as though the universe is reluctant? Or are you declaring as though the universe is abundant? Are you planting seeds of faith, or are you scattering tears of fear? The way you pray is the blueprint for what you will receive. Do not think that prayer is only for sacred places, only for Sundays, only for whispered rituals. Every word you speak is a prayer. When you say, I can't afford this, you are praying lack into your life. When you say, I never have good luck, you are praying misfortune into your life. But when you say, I am rich in supply, you are praying wealth. When you say, I attract love everywhere I go, you are praying joy. Every word is a seed. Speak carefully, because Spirit does not forget what you plant. Prayer must be firm. Prayer must be joyful. Prayer must be accompanied by thanksgiving, as if it is already done. When you give thanks for something unseen, you send out a signal to the universe that you believe, and belief is the magnet of miracles. The man who prays for healing, but continues to speak of pain, is like a builder who lays bricks by day, but tears them down by night. His house will never be built. But the man who prays once in faith and then continues to speak words of gratitude, his house will be standing before the week is out. So I say again, everything will be given to you if you pray in this way, not in fear, not in begging, but in certainty, in joy, in thanksgiving, in alignment with the truth that Spirit is limitless, and therefore you are limitless. You must understand this truth, beloved. The reason most people say, my prayers are never answered, is not because God refuses them, not because heaven is deaf, not because the universe is cold. Their prayers fail because they are not really prayers at all. They are vibrations of fear wrapped in religious words. They are cries of desperation spoken into the wind, and the universe, which always obeys law, answers not to fear but to faith, not to begging but to believing. Consider the woman who kneels each night and whispers, Lord, please help me, please help me, please help me. Her words are soaked with doubt. She repeats them because she does not believe they were heard the first time. She imagines God as far away, sitting on a throne, frowning, needing to be convinced. But the truth is, God is closer than her own breath. Spirit is nearer than her own heartbeat. And so while she prays, she is really declaring over and over again, I do not have, I do not believe, I am not certain. The universe hears that frequency and delivers exactly what she announced, emptiness. Do you see? The failure lies not in God, but in the way the prayer is spoken. An ordinary prayer is like knocking on a door, but never stepping inside. It is like standing before a banquet table, yet declaring, I am starving, I am starving. Ordinary prayer speaks more of lack than of abundance, more of doubt than of certainty, more of fear than of faith. And because the law of attraction returns to us the very vibration we release, ordinary prayer often brings more of the very problem we wanted solved. I have often said, owing to ignorance of the law, Many people are continually making their lives chaotic by their words. Do you see how this applies to prayer? A person will say, I am praying for healing, yet in the same breath declare, my condition is getting worse. Another will say, I pray for money every day, but then confess, I am always broke. What are they truly praying? They are praying sickness, they are praying poverty, they are praying fear. And the universe, faithful servant that it is, delivers to them exactly what they spoke. Imagine a gardener who plants both roses and weeds in the same soil, watering both daily. What will grow both? The soil does not discriminate, and spirit is the same. It grows whatever seed you plant in the soil of the universe, whether it be faith or fear, love or doubt, gratitude or complaint. Ordinary prayer fails because it plants weeds while expecting roses. Let me tell you a story. A gentleman once came to me distressed over his business. He said, Miss Shin, I pray every morning for my company to succeed, but each day I lose more money. I asked him, what do you say after you pray? He replied, I tell my wife we are ruined. I tell my friends I expect bankruptcy. I tell myself that nothing works. I smiled gently and said, then you are not praying, you are rehearsing failure. You are broadcasting ruin, and the universe is simply echoing it back. When he understood this, he changed his words. Instead of praying for success and then declaring disaster, he prayed once in certainty, then began speaking only of abundance, prosperity, and gratitude. Within months, his failing business revived, and new opportunities came to him. What changed? Not the market. Not luck, his prayer changed from ordinary to extraordinary. Ordinary prayer fails because it comes from the belief that God is unwilling. Extraordinary prayer succeeds because it comes from the belief that God has already given. Do you see the difference? When you beg, you announce lack. When you declare, you announce possession, and the universe always confirms the announcement. Think of a radio. If you tune it to the wrong frequency, you will not hear the music you desire. You may turn the knob harder, shout at the radio, pound your fist on it, but it will not matter. You are still on the wrong station. Prayer works the same. Ordinary prayer is tuned to the frequency of lack. No matter how long you pray, no matter how loud you cry, you will not hear the song of abundance because you are on the wrong frequency. But extraordinary prayer, prayer spoken with certainty, with joy, with thanksgiving, is tuned to the frequency of answered prayer. And the moment you align, the music of heaven begins to play in your life. Do not think that long prayers move heaven. Do not think that repeating yourself makes you more holy. Spirit is not impressed by the quantity of your words, but by the quality of your faith. One sentence spoken in certainty is more powerful than 1,000 words spoken in fear. One declaration filled with thanksgiving shakes the universe more than hours of begging. So I ask you now, beloved, what kind of prayer do you speak? Do you whine? Do you plead? Do you repeat endlessly, hoping to be heard? Or do you stand tall, declare boldly, and give thanks as if it is already yours? The former is ordinary and fails. The latter is extraordinary and always succeeds. I once taught my students, the prayer of affirmation brings about the demonstration. The prayer of fear only delays it. And so if your prayers seem unanswered, check the soil. What seed are you planting? Is it faith or is it fear? The universe is never late, never deaf, never unwilling. It is always giving according to the law of your word. Ordinary prayer fails because it forgets this law. But you, now that you know, must never forget. When you pray, do not beg, do not repeat, do not declare lack. Instead, speak once, firmly, joyfully, thankfully, as one who already possesses. And then live in alignment with that prayer, speaking words that confirm it, thinking thoughts that support it, taking actions that agree with it. For when you do, the universe has no choice but to deliver. It is law, and law cannot fail. Now, let me tell you, dear one, what prayer truly is, and how it must be spoken for heaven and earth to move. The right way to pray is not to cry, nor to plead, nor to bargain with God, as though he were a stern judge to be persuaded. The right way to pray is to affirm, to declare, to give thanks, to speak as one who already possesses. For when you pray in this way, you become magnetic. The vibration of your words draws the unseen into the seen, the invisible into form, the promise into manifestation. You must understand that prayer is not asking, it is aligning. Prayer is not trying to change God's mind. It is changing your own vibration. Prayer is not an attempt to overcome divine reluctance. It is laying hold of divine willingness. God has already given all. The universe is already overflowing with supply. The rivers of blessing are always flowing, yet most people close their cup, turn their back, and say, "Why is there no water for me?" But when you pray rightly, you turn toward the stream, you open your vessel, you drink deeply, and your thirst is quenched. I say to you, never go to prayer as a beggar. Go as a child of the King. Never bow your head in shame before the Almighty, for you were made in His image. Lift your head, square your shoulders, and speak as one who knows they are heir to the kingdom. When the prodigal son returned, the father did not lecture him. He clothed him with a robe, placed a ring on his hand, shoes on his feet, and called for the feast. This is how your Father in heaven sees you. So why should you come groveling? Why should you pray as though God must be convinced? He has already given. You need only receive. Let me show you how magnetic prayer works. Suppose you are in need of money. An ordinary prayer will say, "Lord, please send me money. Please don't let me fail. Please help me." But a magnetic prayer will declare, "I thank Thee, Father, that money flows to me now. I thank Thee that Thy riches are mine in abundance. I walk in supply. I live in plenty. I move in prosperity." Do you feel the difference? One begs, the other claims. One says, "I do not have." The other says, "It is already mine." And because the universe is tuned to respond to certainty, the second prayer calls forth what the first one chases away. Another example, a woman prays for health. She cries, "Lord, take away my sickness, please heal me." This is ordinary prayer. But a magnetic prayer would say, "I am whole in Christ. I thank Thee that every cell of my body vibrates with divine life. I am filled with health, strength, and energy now." You see the difference. The ordinary prayer looks at the sickness. The magnetic prayer looks at the wholeness. And where you place your gaze, energy flows. What you give attention to expands. Prayer is not about describing the problem. It is about declaring the solution. The right way to pray is always with thanksgiving. I have said it often. Gratitude is the law of increase. When you thank God for what is already yours, you activate the law of multiplication. When Jesus took the loaves and fishes, He did not cry, "Oh God, please, we have too little." He lifted them to heaven and gave thanks. And at once what was little became much. What was scarce became abundant. Do you see the key? Thanksgiving unlocks multiplication. So if you wish your prayer to be magnetic, begin always with gratitude. Thank God as though it were already done. Let us use a metaphor. Imagine a magnet placed in a field of iron filings. Wherever the magnet goes, the filings rush toward it. They cling to it. They cannot resist its pull. This is how prayer works when it is spoken rightly. The moment you declare, the moment you thank, the moment you believe, your word becomes magnetic. Opportunities, people, resources, ideas, all rush toward you. You may not see them immediately, but they are moving. They are gathering, they are aligning, and soon what you spoke becomes what you touch. Prayer is not about length, but about power. Do not think you must pray for hours. One clear word of faith has more force than 1,000 anxious repetitions. I once told a student who feared losing her home, "Speak this only. There is no loss in divine mind, therefore I cannot lose that which is mine by right." She obeyed, and her affairs were adjusted without delay. Why? Because she spoke law. She did not beg, she declared. She did not fear, she affirmed, and the law responded. Do you not see? The right way to pray is to speak the end from beginning. Call the thing done. See yourself already possessing. Walk as though you already hold it in your hand. This is why Jesus said, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. He did not say, when you pray, hope that one day it will come. He said, believe that you receive now, and you shall have. Present tense faith creates present tense manifestations. I tell you, never mention the problem in your prayer. Speak only the solution. If you need peace, do not cry, I am troubled. Declare, the peace of God floods my mind. If you need supply, do not whine, I am broke. Declare, riches are mine now. If you need love, do not moan, I am lonely. Declare, divine love surrounds me, guides me, and attracts love to me now. The law is exact. Words you choose are seeds. Plant weeds, you reap weeds. Plant roses, you reap roses. So remember, beloved, the right way to pray is magnetic. It is thanksgiving. It is certainty. It is declaring what already is in spirit until it appears in form. It is never begging, never repeating in fear, never describing the problem. It is lifting your word to heaven, clothed in faith, and knowing it is done. When you pray like this, miracles cease to be rare. They become natural, daily, expected, and your life becomes a living testimony that prayer works when spoken rightly. I will now give you the formula, the divine pattern, the sacred rhythm of prayer and manifestation. It is simple, yet most stumble because they complicate it, they resist it, or they add to it their fears and doubts. The law of the Spirit is not hard. It is not hidden in riddles. It is as clear as the sun that rises, as dependable as the tide that flows. The formula is threefold. Speak, believe, release. First, you must speak. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Your word is the sword of spirit, the brush that paints reality, the seed that plants destiny. Until you speak, the thought remains unformed, the desire remains unshaped. Speech is the bridge between the invisible and the visible. When God created, He spoke. He did not wish. He did not imagine vaguely. He said, let there be light, and light appeared. In the same way, you must say, let there be abundance, let there be health, let there be peace. Your word is law. Your word summons the invisible substance of the universe into pattern and form. But not any word will do. You must speak words of life, words of certainty, words of completion. Never say, I will be healed one day, for that delays your healing. Never say, I will have money someday, for that pushes supply into the distance. Say instead, I am whole now, I am supplied now, I am guided now. For the word spoken in the present tense is the word charged with power. Spirit moves only in the eternal now. Yesterday is gone, tomorrow has not yet come. Now is the appointed time. So speak as though it is already done, because in divine mind it is. Next, you must believe. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Without belief, words are empty shells. Without faith, affirmations are mere sounds. But when belief enters, the word is clothed in life. It vibrates, it magnetizes. It draws unto itself that which corresponds. Belief is the secret engine that sets your spoken word into motion. It is the current that electrifies the magnet, the breath that animates the seed. You cannot deceive the law. It responds not to what you say with your lips, but to what you believe in your heart. If you say, I am rich, but believe secretly, I am poor and nothing ever works for me, then it is the inner belief that wins, for as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. How then do you cultivate belief? By repetition, by imagination, by thanksgiving. You must soak your mind in truth until it becomes your only thought. If doubt rises, speak the word again. If fear whispers, drown it out with praise. Belief grows like a muscle. It strengthens with use. I once knew a man who repeated daily, God is my instant supply. At first, he said it with trembling lips, for his pockets were empty. But day by day, as he persisted, belief took root, and soon opportunities rushed in. A position opened that fit him perfectly, and his affairs flourished. Why? Because he combined word with belief. Then comes the third step, release. After you have spoken and believed, you must let go. You must place the matter into the hands of the divine and cease from anxious striving. Too many speak the word, then snatch it back with worry. They pray for health, then run to tell everyone how sick they feel. They declare prosperity, then cancel it with, I can't afford it. This is double-mindedness, and the double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. He cannot receive. Release means you rest. Release means you trust. Release means you no longer watch the clock, demanding when and how. You sow the seed, you water it with thanksgiving, and then you let the soil of spirit do its work. Think of a farmer. He plants his seed and covers it with earth. He does not dig it up every hour to see if it grows. He trusts the unseen forces of nature. He knows that in due time the sprout will break forth, the stalk will rise, the fruit will appear. So too must you release your word. Do not dig it up with doubt, do not choke it with fear. Plant it in faith, water it with gratitude, and let it be. There is a woman I once counseled who longed for her right home. She spoke the word, I give thanks for the perfect home that is mine by divine right. She believed it was possible, but every day she checked the listings, worried about the prices, and said, what if nothing shows up? I told her, release the burden, leave the how to God. At last she obeyed. She stopped searching anxiously and instead gave daily thanks. Within 2 weeks, a friend approached her unexpectedly, offering a house that was exactly what she envisioned, at a price within her means. Why? Because she had spoken, believed, and then released. Remember, dear one, the formula is always the same. Speak, declare it boldly. Believe, hold it as true within. Release, let God handle the details. When these 3 steps are practiced together, manifestation is certain. When one is missing, the circuit is broken. To speak without belief is empty. To believe without speaking is dormant. To speak and believe without release is to strangle the harvest with impatience. Only when all three are united does the miracle appear. Let me give you a final picture. Imagine a kite soaring in the sky. To make it fly, you must first release it upward. That is the word spoken. Then you must hold the string with confidence. That is belief. But you must also let the wind carry it. You cannot tug it constantly, or it will fall. That is release. And so it is with the word of prayer. Give it wings, give it faith, give it freedom. Then watch it rise higher and higher until it becomes visible in your reality. Therefore I say unto you, speak with authority, believe with certainty, release with peace. This is the divine formula. This is how heaven moves on earth, and this is why I tell you. Everything will be given to you if you pray in this way. The final key, the crown of the formula, is to live as though it is already done. Prayer does not end with words upon your lips. It is fulfilled when you embody the result in every step, in every breath, in every decision. To pray rightly is to live in the vibration of answered prayer. The moment you have spoken, believed, and released, you must shift your life to reflect that it is already yours. Most people miss this last step. They pray for prosperity, but continue to speak like paupers. They ask for health, but continue to act as though sickness has the final word. They long for love, but carry themselves with the posture of rejection. They live as though the prayer is still pending, still waiting, still distant. But I tell you, in divine law, the moment you pray in the right way, it is already complete in spirit. The unseen has accepted your order. The supply has been dispatched. To live as if it were not yet done is to doubt the very law you have invoked. You must live as if it has already come to pass. If you have prayed for abundance, walk through the world with the dignity of one already provided for. Hold your head high, not in arrogance, but in assurance. If you have prayed for health, let your body move as one who is already being restored. If you have prayed for right work, prepare yourself as though the opportunity is already knocking at your door. The law answers faith, not hesitation. Let me give you an image. Imagine a bride who has set the date for her wedding. She does not wait until the morning of the ceremony to prepare. No, from the moment the promise is spoken, she begins to act. She selects her garments, she sends out invitations, she rehearses her steps. All of her being moves toward that appointed day because she knows it is settled. In the same way, once you have prayed, your soul must prepare as though the blessing is inevitable, for indeed it is. I once counseled a man who prayed for his right position in business. He spoke the word with conviction and released it in trust, yet he still lived as though nothing had changed. He stayed idle, refused to prepare, and entertained thoughts of failure. I told him, begin to live as though you already have it. Rise each day as though you are going to work. Prepare your mind as though you are already entrusted with responsibility. Dress the part. Think the part, embody the part. Within weeks, an opportunity opened that perfectly matched his preparation, and because he had lived as if it were so, he was ready to receive it. Do you see, to live as if is not play acting. It is aligning. It is entering the vibration of the completed work so that when it appears in the visible, you are not a stranger to it. You cannot carry the vibration of lack and expect to receive abundance. You cannot carry the vibration of fear and expect to walk into love. You cannot carry the vibration of doubt and expect to see miracles. You must match the frequency of what you desire. Living as if is the alignment of your whole being with the outcome already decreed. Think of a radio. The music is already playing in the air, but you hear nothing until you tune your receiver to the right station. Living as if is tuning your life to the frequency of answered prayer. When you adjust your words, your posture, your choices, your gratitude, you come into harmony with the unseen, and soon the music of your manifestation begins to play. Gratitude is the highest form of living as if. When you give thanks before the visible appears, you are declaring to the universe, "It is already mine." Jesus himself gave thanks before the bread multiplied, before Lazarus rose, before the miracle was seen. Thanksgiving is the sound of faith fulfilled. Begin now to thank God for the thing you prayed for, as though it has already come. Say, "I give thanks for the wealth that flows to me now. I give thanks for the health that springs forth speedily. I give thanks for the love that surrounds me. I give thanks for the doors that open." Thanksgiving is the fragrance of manifestation. It proves you believe it is already done. Let me tell you of a woman who longed for companionship. She prayed daily for her right mate. I told her, "Begin to live as though he were already present." She set an extra place at the table. She kept her home in order as though expecting company. She walked with the joy of one who was already loved. And before long, the right man entered her life, drawn not by her desperation, but by her vibration of fulfillment. This is how the law works. When you live as if you magnetize, you cease to beg and begin to attract. You cease to plead and begin to command. You cease to wander and begin to align. Heaven rushes to meet the soul that walks as though the promise is already in hand. Now some will say, "But what if I am pretending? What if I am deluding myself?" My answer is this: you are not pretending, you are practicing. You are not deluding, you are aligning. Pretending says, "This is not real, but I will play a part." Aligning says, "This is already real in spirit, and I am adjusting myself to its reality." The difference is everything. Pretending is empty, but alignment is powerful. So I say to you, dress your life in answered prayer. Walk as though you have received. Speak gratitude as though it is already in your hands. Live in joy as though the gift has already arrived. For in divine law it has. The invisible always precedes the visible. The spiritual always comes before the material. If you wait to believe until you see, you will never see. But if you believe and live now, then surely in due season it will appear. Picture yourself holding a lantern in the dark. Each step you take, the light reveals a little more of the path ahead. You do not see the whole road, but you walk as though it is there, because the light assures you that the next step will be revealed. So it is with living as if. Each step taken in faith brings the manifestation closer until one day, what you lived inwardly becomes the reality you touch with your hands. Therefore, I charge you this day, pray rightly, and then live rightly. Do not delay the blessing with double-mindedness. Align your heart, your words, your choices, your gratitude, with the truth that the prayer is already answered. For it is written, "When ye pray, believe that ye receive, and ye shall have." The moment you believe you receive, you must act, speak, and live as though it is done. This is the completion of prayer. This is the secret of manifestation. This is the law of living as if. And when you live this way, everything will indeed be given to you, not tomorrow, not someday, but now, because Spirit knows no delay. All of heaven bends to the soul that lives in alignment with its answered prayer. Walk in it, dear one, and watch the invisible become visible, the hoped for become seen, the word become flesh. And so, beloved one, as we come to the end of this teaching, let me leave you with this eternal truth. Nothing is withheld from the soul that knows how to pray rightly. You were not placed upon this earth to beg, to struggle, or to wander in confusion. You were placed here to co-create with divine spirit, to speak the word of faith, and to live in the joy of answered prayer. Everything will be given to you if you pray in this way, believing, releasing, trusting, and living as though it is already done. The world will tell you that things take time, that blessings are scarce, that your dreams are too bold. But the law of spirit knows nothing of delay, nothing of shortage, nothing of impossibility. In the realm of spirit, the moment you believe, it is done. The moment you align, it is given. The moment you speak with faith, heaven opens its gates to pour out supply. So walk in this truth. Let your prayers no longer be cries of desperation, but declarations of divine order. Let your words no longer be filled with fear, but with confidence that all things are working together for your good. And when doubt tries to whisper that nothing is happening, silence it with thanksgiving. Say, it is done. I give thanks. I walk in the blessing now. For thanksgiving is the song of answered prayer. Look back upon your life for a moment. Think of the times when you thought the answer was delayed, but in truth it arrived at the perfect hour. Think of the doors that closed only to guide you to better ones. Think of the prayers you prayed that did not manifest as you expected, but turned into blessings greater than you imagined. Divine order has always been at work, arranging, aligning, preparing, and it will not fail you now. The universe is not against you. It is for you. God is not withholding. He is overflowing. The only thing required is that you align yourself with His law, and His law is simple. Believe that you receive, and you shall have. Do not complicate it. Do not resist it. Simply step into it with childlike faith. So tonight, as you pray, pray differently. Pray with assurance, pray with release, pray with joy. Speak the word, let it go, and live as though it is already so. Watch the invisible take shape. Watch the doors swing open. Watch the crooked places made straight. Watch provision, health, love, and peace rush into your life, not by your forcing, but by your faith. You are not small, you are not forgotten, you are not powerless. You are the beloved of spirit, heir to infinite supply, and the law of divine manifestation is written within your very soul. Rise into it, claim it, live it, and let your life be the proof of prayer's power. I tell you, dear one, nothing is missing. Nothing is late. Nothing is beyond reach. Everything you have prayed for in the right way is already yours in the unseen. Now step into it with joy. The universe is waiting for your alignment, for your thanksgiving, for your faith. And as you do, you will see with your own eyes what I have spoken. Everything will indeed be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Walk in faith, speak in truth, live in joy, and let every prayer you make be the opening of heaven's storehouse. So it is, and so it shall be.